You're listening to Winnipeg's Classic 107. My name is Simon Rusnak. This week, the Desautels Chamber Opera Group at the University of Manitoba performs one of the early masterpieces in the repertoire in an entirely modern form of presentation. The Coronation of Poppea premiered on stage in Venice back in 1643, and on Thursday, the U of M production is set to premiere on the digital stage of YouTube. To hear more, soprano Sofia Escamilla and cellist Luis Almeida have joined me. Hello to you both.
Hi, hi, hi. Hi, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Well, thank you so much for doing this. Claudio Monteverdi, one of the originators of the opera form back in the early 17th century. This one of his last works, his late works. Sophia, very briefly, right off the get-go, could you tell us what Poppea is all about?
Yes, I can, Simon. It's a bit of a doozy. In essence, it's a love story, multiple love stories kind of going around. With a bit of manipulation sprinkled in there and some murder, some deaths. But basically we have kind of our two protagonists in Nerone and Poppea that are, in love with each other. But Nerone is married to the Queen Octavia, and we have Ottone, who's madly in love with Poppea, but she just doesn't love him back, and so there's just plotting to kill Poppea, but Drusilla gets kind of mixed up in there because Ottone dressed up as her, and it gets a bit crazy, but in essence, it is a love story. Sometimes not so pure, but a love story.
It just sounds like another day in Imperial Rome,
I know.
just a casual Thursday, I guess. It really is a gripping drama. Like you say, this beautiful love story. If people haven't heard, by the time you get to the end, the duet is just an absolute stunner, one of the great works in the repertoire. Which role will you be performing, Sophia?
I will be performing two roles. I will be performing Fortuna and Arnalta. So that's going to be interesting. And Simon, you mentioned that amazing love duet, Portimiro. Interestingly enough, in our production, the two that get it are Ottone and Drusilla, not actually Poppea and Nerone. So they're a bit of a plot twist.
Well, I was going to say, people are just going to have to check and see how that happens, and they're really going to have to really tune in now. Luis, you're not going to be singing while playing your cello, are you?
No, I'm part of the continuo team on this production, and actually we are trying some new things this time because, as we know, usually a continuo team has cello, clavichord, maybe acoustic guitar, but here there will be some sections even with electric guitar. So
wow,
yeah.
I mean, okay, so just in case people are listening and they don't know this term continuo, can you tell us what continuo is?
Yes, of course. So basso continuo is actually is just our idea of a bass player nowadays. So it's just a line that serves to make this accompaniment for the singers. So a continuo team is all the instruments that play this part, this line. So in this production, I'm playing the cello, Megan Durford is playing the clavichord and a little bit of organ, and John Himes is playing the acoustic guitar and also the electric guitar.
Yeah, exactly like you say, supporting the singers, because this is opera after all, and singing is nonstop. I guess technically a drama per musica, but we don't have to get into the nitty-gritty of that. Now, just before we get back to this production, I do want to touch on another aspect of all this. You're both international students, and I definitely want to chat more about that and what your experience has been like thus far. Luis, you're originally from Brazil before coming here to study with Dr. Mina Rose Chung, working towards a master's degree. What's it been like so far for you here in Winnipeg?
Yeah, so the fun thing is that was the first time that I saw snow was here in Winnipeg. So it was a strange start because I just arrived in September. So I mean that's my first winter here, so everything is pretty different. But to be honest, I think that I was super lucky because on my first weeks here, I started to work in this production. So I think that was a really great start, and I'm loving Winnipeg so far.
And loving the snow and cold too. Is it an acquired taste?
Well, the first 3 or 4 weeks was super nice, but then it starts to get a little bit weird.
Yeah. I've heard that before. For all of us too. You can only throw so much snow, that's for sure. And Sophia, you're originally from Mexico, right?
Yes, I am. So another warm country.
Yeah, I was gonna say, used to the snow too. Then I'm sure.
Oh God, first time, just as Luis. It's so beautiful, and you're like, I love it so much. I hope it never stops. And then like by week four, you're just done.
And you came here to sing, and of course that has been something that has just been well, we just really haven't had a lot of opportunity to do that through this pandemic. I mean, just recently the Manitoba Opera announced the postponement of its production of La Cenerentola. It must feel really good to do what you love to do, and to share your singing and talent in this production of Poppea. Is that right?
It has. It's been great. I mean, just as we started this off very early on in the semester, just practicing it, and it was really just a joy to get back to it because of COVID, we hadn't been singing a lot, especially in an ensemble. So it's been just amazing working on it.
Can you tell us a little bit more about what audiences can expect from the production? Is it like multi cameras? Is it are you performing together in the same room? Are masks on? What's it going to look like?
So it's an interesting staging. Catherine Twaddle is our stage director. She's just amazing, and she found a way to have us all be in the same space, but we all have different chairs. So this could be maybe just a wooden chair or kind of a loungy sofa situation, depending on our character. And we're all separated at least 6 feet apart, and we kind of live in this world of our chairs. So we're all very separated, and it is, I believe, two camera angles that are going on. So we were fortunate enough to be able to do it in person, masked, but at least we were together making music.
Yeah, and that's been the thing that's just been such a struggle, hasn't it? Not being able to make music in the same space. I know we can do these things online, but it's not at all the same thing, is it?
No, we just the vibing off the musicians, the singers. It's amazing once everything is put together.
And Luis, what was it like for you working with the singers live and accompanying them in this rather unique continuo format?
Well, there's a challenge when you play a continual part because you're not only supporting the singer, but also you're making music with them. So
Mm.
sometimes you need to even anticipate a little bit, like some melodies and some phrases, just to really like match all the ideas that the singer is thinking of in that moment. And I think that that's probably is the trickiest part is that as every musician, the singers has different inspirations every day. So we, as the continual team, we need to match what they want to do in that day. And I mean, it's tricky, but it's super nice. It's a great experience for any musician.
Yeah, that it most certainly is. And the result is one that is just absolutely beautiful. Luis and Sophia, thank you so much for telling us a little bit more about the coronation of Poppea that is set to premiere on Thursday. I guess one last thing. Have either of you seen it yet?
No, we haven't. We're all
No.
waiting for that premiere. We're so excited.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic, I'm sure. And it premieres 7:30 p.m. on YouTube, February 10th. For more details, you can visit classic107.com and click on the events tab. Luis and Sophia, thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.